extraterrestrials that landed on Earth in Mesopotamia more than 450,000 years ago.
Anunnaki beings who were cleaning out the Euphrates and Tigris River so they can create irrigation and create a bustling civilization.
The Anunnaki both created human beings and also had a part in mankind's downfall.
The mystery of the Anunnaki is becoming more clear.
Deep underground, so dark and deep that no modern equipment had ever reached, a team of archaeologists discovered something they had never dared to imagine. What shocked them was not just the unnatural architecture of the tomb, but what they found at its center, a perfectly preserved body bearing writings and biological structures unlike any specimen ever recorded. Let's dive into the journey of decoding this discovery to see what really has scientists freaking out. The Anunnaki are recorded in ancient Sumerian texts as a group of extraterrestrial beings who appear as individuals possessing superior knowledge. Clay tablets describe them as coming from Nibiru, a celestial body that orbits in long cycles and only approaches Earth after thousands of years. Ancient documents indicate that their emergence was linked to the goal of exploiting the resources of the Earth, especially gold and rare metals. This prompted them to make biological modifications to native species, creating the first humans as a purpose-designed form of labor. Descriptions from Sumerian times show the Anunnaki to be larger than modern humans, with a powerful appearance and the ability to manipulate complex technology. These traits make them archetypes of creator gods who shaped social structures and institutions of power. In ancient legends, the Anunnaki are credited with establishing agriculture farming systems and large-scale engineering techniques. Many texts describe them passing on their knowledge of building, surveying, and managing the land to early humans. Several Mesopotamian rock inscriptions describe the rituals the Anunnaki taught, including social organization, power hierarchy, and laws governing community life. These writings form the basis for viewing them as the founders of the first dynasties. In the legend, a figure referred to as the last king of the Anunnaki, named Ziusudra, is described as a survivor of a great event, given special powers, and buried in a secret location to protect the knowledge related to that event. Ziusudra's image suggests that he was not only a powerful individual, but also the custodian of Anunnaki's core knowledge. Stories about him often include elements of longevity, environmental control, and understanding of astronomical fluctuations. Many scholars have attempted to explain the origins of the Anunnaki legends, and have suggested that the tablets depict them wearing clothing similar to the protective gear of advanced scientific cultures. This has led to the hypothesis that the Anunnaki may have been a highly technological being. Akkadian and Sumerian texts sometimes depict objects that were thought to be aids to locomotion, noted as vehicles capable of vertical takeoff. These images reinforce the assumption of a level of technology far beyond the capabilities of ancient societies. It is noteworthy that Anunnaki symbols and drawings appear in many different regions, from Mesopotamia to Anatolia, and even in some civilizations further away. Their spread suggests a wide influence that was not limited to a single territory. Similar motifs are found in the Egyptian and Mayan civilizations, suggesting a form of transcontinental cultural connection from very early times. Figures such as Osiris and Quetzalcoatl bear a resemblance to the Anunnaki figures depicted in Mesopotamian texts. This correlative evidence has led many researchers to believe that ancient civilizations may have come into contact with a common group of organisms. Although there is no scientific confirmation, the similarity in symbols is still a remarkable fact in explaining the origin of civilization. In Iraq, many ancient caves contain symbols related to the Anunnaki, including carvings depicting giant figures and astronomical symbols. Some drawings show the paths of objects in the sky, giving rise to speculation about the periodic return of Nibiru. In recent years, archaeological teams have noted many locations with unusual signs related to materials that do not match the geological age. Some areas have been noted to have traces of artificial intervention at great depths, increasing the level of interest of researchers. It was these fragments of information that led the teams to a hidden area under the sand, where intricately carved Anunnaki symbols were found. This structure became the starting point for the excavation that led to the current controversial discovery. The layers of information spanning many historical periods suggest the possibility of the existence of a group of organisms that had a profound influence on early civilizations. This is the basis for researchers to seriously consider the authenticity of the legend. Those traces led to an excavation that no one expected would open the entrance to a tomb hidden for millennia. Discover the hidden tomb. The area lay deep within the Iraqi desert, near the ruins of ancient Ur, once the heart of Sumerian civilization. A stratigraphic survey, using specialized equipment, detected unusual echoes indicating a large artificial structure buried beneath the sand. A light tremor shifted the surface and revealed straight geometric lines that did not match the natural terrain. The team expanded the scan and identified stone slabs with clear signs of being shaped by human hands. Ground-penetrating radar was deployed to map the architecture below. The results showed a chain of cavities connected by narrow corridors, an arrangement not seen in known ancient construction. During the survey, a drone was lowered through a crack to gather imagery. Its camera revealed a concealed doorway coated with a reflective layer that interfered with surface scanners, making the structure difficult to detect from above. Once the sand was cleared, the researchers exposed a massive stone gate sealed with a strange alloy. The metal was exceptionally durable and showed no oxidation after millennia underground. Attempts to force it open failed because the alloy did not react to heat or mechanical stress in familiar ways. The team used a pressure cutter to open a narrow passage large enough for a rover to enter. The rover transmitted the first images from inside. The corridor walls were carved with cuneiform symbols and decorated with depictions of tall figures wearing unfamiliar garments. Crystals embedded in the stone emitted a faint glow, creating the impression of an active environment rather than an abandoned tomb. Deeper inside, the team encountered complex defensive features. Some emitted beams resembling lasers, formed from ancient crystalline mechanisms unrelated to known technology. The beams produced temperatures high enough to burn on contact. In a nearby chamber, the opening of a stone door triggered the release of a mild toxic gas that briefly stunned exposed members. This forced the team to upgrade filtration systems and avoid handling surfaces that might contain hidden triggers. Once these mechanisms were neutralized, the main chamber came into view. The space was vast, shaped with a flawless curved ceiling, covered in carvings that narrated the lineage of an ancient dynasty. The precision of the artwork suggested skill far beyond what was typical for the region's recorded history. At the center stood a crystal coffin elevated on a stone pedestal. The crystal showed no scratches or tarnish, as if shielded by an energy field. Light reflecting off its layers produced shimmering patterns across the chamber. Around it, several artifacts had been placed with intentional order: a dimly glowing jeweled crown, a tablet resembling an ancient data device, and a leather scroll filled with dense symbols describing the genetics of an unknown species. When the coffin's seal was opened, the air shifted as though drawn toward the center. Instruments detected a low-level magnetic change that did not pose immediate danger, but felt out of place in a burial site. The body inside was fully visible once the lid was lifted. Its size exceeded that of any modern human, and the intact skin suggested that the individual belonged to a distinct and advanced group. The preserved condition prompted the team to enhance their protective gear. Rapid testing revealed cells that remained structurally intact, along with a preservation method never documented before. The internal fluid contained nano-based components foreign to any ancient material cataloged to date. The surrounding artifacts indicated that the individual held a position of great authority. One object resembled a control panel engraved with astronomical cycles and the orbit of a celestial body, which led the researchers to believe the record pertained to Nibiru. The extraordinary preservation of the body and the sophisticated objects around it motivated the team to launch deeper biological and technological analyses, focusing on the possibility that the tomb belonged to the last king of the Anunnaki. Secrets of the body. The body inside the crystal coffin possessed proportions far beyond modern human standards. Standing nearly 2.5 meters tall, it displayed a massive bone structure and muscular symmetry that implied exceptional physical strength. The clothing on the corpse was woven from a thin, durable metallic fiber that showed no oxidation. When exposed to light, the reflective threads produced a cool gray sheen, indicating a self-sustaining material that required no protective coating. The surface of the fabric revealed an ultrafine weaving technique that ancient tools could not replicate. The skin remained intact with no evidence of decomposition. Its pale blue coloration and smooth elastic texture indicated a preservation state close to biological stasis. Under ultraviolet illumination, a circular star-shaped emblem on the chest emitted a faint glow. The emblem was composed of fine mineral fibers implanted beneath the epidermis. Its stable luminescence pointed to the presence of materials designed with low-level energy storage capacity. Tissue samples were collected for cell structure assessment. Early analysis showed intact membranes, normal morphology, and no signs of denaturation. The findings suggested a preservation method using microstructured particles. Fluid taken from the blood vessels appeared silvery and less viscous than human blood. Under an electron microscope, the fluid revealed nanoribbons capable of maintaining enzyme activity and preventing cellular deterioration over extremely long periods. Muscle tissue examination showed weak bioelectric oscillations. These oscillations were too faint to support life functions, but indicated a near-suspended state resembling biological sleep, where activity is almost extinguished without reaching full termination. Scans of the internal organs confirmed that the heart retained its structure and displayed extremely low microcontractions, a phenomenon previously observed only in controlled experiments involving living tissue under freezing conditions. The lungs preserved a gaseous mixture not found in Earth's atmosphere. The gas appeared to have been compressed multiple times before being sealed inside the chest cavity, suggesting it was part of the organism's natural biological environment before entombment. The brain displayed an astonishing structure, with folds 3 times thicker and more complex than those of humans. The large brain mass and dense neural network raised questions about the individual's cognitive capacity and supported the possibility of extraordinary intelligence. Within the right hand rested an elongated metallic object with a smooth exterior and a core emitting a faint magnetic pulse. The energy signature suggested a tool capable of generating its own field, possibly designed for defensive or operational functions. Around the neck was a thin metal ring composed of crystal fragments arranged in a precise helix. When brought close to instruments, the ring produced a measurable temporal lag in sensors, opening speculation that the object could influence mechanical time flow. Blood samples revealed a previously unknown enzyme capable of continuous cellular repair. The enzyme functioned as a mechanism for limiting aging and maintaining tissue integrity for extraordinary durations. The same properties also suggested potential instability if introduced into incompatible biological environments. Across the body were carved symbols connected to astronomical cycles and records of a predicted upheaval. The carvings were executed with sharp precision and displayed significant resistance to erosion, pointing to advanced inscription technology. Within the pineal gland, researchers located a small crystalline formation, Scanning revealed vibration patterns similar to memory encoding, creating the possibility that the crystal stored data directly within its structure. Initial extraction attempts yielded symbolic imagery tied to a catastrophic event referenced in multiple ancient narratives. The crystal's content guided researchers toward the idea that the corpse preserved not only tissue, but also records of a major historical transformation. Combined with the surrounding artifacts, the body pointed to an individual of immense status who possessed advanced life preservation capabilities. The collective evidence strengthened the hypothesis that this could be the last king of the Anunnaki. These discoveries generated intense fascination as well as profound concern, leading to urgent responses from scientific institutions and regulatory authorities. The future of humanity. Dr. Voss described the feeling of observing the body as a state of intense pressure, as if confronted with a presence beyond human comprehension. Some members left the survey area immediately after noticing a change in the electromagnetic field of the tomb chamber. Iraqi authorities immediately sealed off the entire area after receiving the preliminary report. Security forces were deployed to control access and restrict any unauthorized recording devices to prevent information leaks that could impact public opinion. Meanwhile, representatives of many religious organizations expressed concerns that the release of data related to the bodies could change traditional beliefs. Content related to human origins and the role of the Anunnaki is considered sensitive on a global scale. Many major scientific institutions have requested access to conduct independent verification. Authorities fear the risk of conflict between the parties, as the value of the information could directly affect fundamental theories such as evolution and human history. In the international media, news of the discovery was spread anonymously and without confirmation. This led to a flurry of speculation, polarizing public opinion between skepticism, alarm, and fear of what might happen next. Many online platforms have seen a surge in comments and discussions regarding the possibility of Anunnaki returning. These speculations are unsubstantiated but widespread because of the mysterious nature of the tomb and the level of control over information. Several internal reports said that those directly involved in the excavation began to experience sensory disturbances. They described hearing vague sounds coming from within the tomb chamber of unknown origin, forcing the research team to limit their exposure time. Weak electromagnetic activity detected around the tomb has prompted biosecurity specialists to consider the possibility of a passive feedback mechanism within the preserved body. While no immediate threat has been confirmed, maintaining distance remains a required precaution as research continues. Among scientists, the find challenges long-standing assumptions about ancient capabilities. The presence of biological and mechanical elements far beyond the known timeline raises the question of an unrecorded civilization. Policy analysts also caution that if such technology were adapted for strategic use, it could reshape global power dynamics in unpredictable ways. Some nations have demanded the right to participate in joint research to reduce the risk of monopolizing the technology. Security concerns have prevented the parties from reaching a consensus, creating a long-standing tension over the Anunnaki tomb issue. Bioethics groups warn that the immortality enzyme found in blood samples could spark an arms race to control lifespan with unpredictable consequences. Tampering with genetic structure could produce unwanted mutations if used incorrectly. Meanwhile, some cultural experts worry that the full disclosure could shake social trust, as perceptions of human origins change. Traditional systems built over thousands of years could be completely rewritten. Research is maintained under strict secrecy. All document decoding, object testing, and biological analysis are carried out in an isolated environment to avoid the risk of spreading unidentified elements. Each new piece of data gleaned from the body raises the interest of various organizations. From enzymes to memory-storing crystals, every finding raises questions about the future of technology, if humans can harness similar structures. Security watchdogs have proposed a multi-tiered secure storage system to ensure the samples are not stolen or misused. Some reports have highlighted the risk from groups seeking to appropriate Anunnaki technology for their own purposes. There is ongoing debate about how much information should be released to the public. Some experts say transparency is necessary, while regulators believe that releasing too much information too soon could cause global chaos due to the shocking nature of the data. At research institutes, meetings were held to assess the safety of continuing to analyze the bodies. Some members proposed minimizing direct contact since the magnetic field and weak signals had not been clearly identified. There is a belief that the body could have served as a warning sent from an ancient civilization. Data related to astronomical fluctuations engraved on the body has led many research teams to be more cautious in deciphering it. Geopolitical experts are also closely watching developments for the potential for international disputes over technology. A new knowledge base, if confirmed, could become a factor in reshaping global strategy. These impacts have put the entire regulatory system on alert. Temporary regulations have been issued to prevent any risky scenarios while the decryption process continues. The chain reaction from the discovery suggests that the world is not just facing a strange specimen, but may be facing a major change in perception. This is the reason why managers and scientists both assess the situation as serious and unpredictable. The discovery of the Anunnaki remains, and their ancient technology has opened a new frontier between myth and reality. The data recovered from the hidden tomb has forced scientists to reassess their entire understanding of the formation and limits of human civilization. As the analysis continues, the future could see profound changes from this buried secret. Subscribe to the channel today, turn on notifications, and share the videos so you don't miss any of the shocking discoveries waiting to be revealed.